Now, why should you be interested in Data Factory? Now let's consider a scenario. So here we have two colleagues having a conversation with each other, and they say that the data that they're generating from their applications or products is increasing exponentially. Now, considering that this data is coming from a number of different products, it'll be a bit of a task to analyze and store all of this data. So he wonders how they're going to manage that. His friend suggests that they use Azure's Data Factory. Now, what does Azure's Data Factory actually do? First, it stores data with the help of the data lake storage. Now, any kind of data can be stored in the data lake storage. Then you can analyze the data, you can transform the data with the help of pipelines, and you can publish the organized data. You can visualize the data with third-party applications like Apache Spark or Hadoop as well. Now, what exactly is Data Factory? So now let's have a look at what exactly is Data Factory. Now, Data Factory falls under the identity domain of services in the Azure catalog and is a cloud-based integration service. Basically, what it does is it works on your data, it stores your data, it orchestrates and automates the movement or transformation of data. It works heavily on the data that you store. Now, let's see how it actually works or how the flow of its processes are. Firstly, we have the input data set, which is nothing but the data that you have within your data store, the one that you need processed. Then you pass this data through a pipeline. Now, what does a pipeline do? A pipeline basically performs an operation on the data that transforms it, which could be anything from just data movement or some data transformation. Now, data transformation is possible with the help of USQL, some stored procedures, or Hive. Now, after this is done, you get an output dataset. Now, this output dataset will contain data that is in a structured form because it's already been transformed and made structured in the pipeline stage. Then it is given into linked services like Azure Data Lake, block storage, or SQL. Now, what it does is these store information that is very important when it comes to connecting to an external source. Now, this is, if you wanted an example, how in an SQL server you need to mention the source and destination of your data. Now, for example, consider an SQL server. So you need a connection string so that you can connect to an external device. You need to mention the source and the destination of your data. This is how the link services work. And finally, you need a gateway. Now, a gateway basically connects your on-premises data to the cloud. So you do need a client installed on your on-premises system so that you can connect to the Azure cloud. And finally, you have the cloud. Here what happens is your data can be analyzed or visualized with a number of different analytical softwares like Apache Spark, R, Hadoop, and so on.